Greetings, I'm Les.
And I am Scandal.
And there's a bear outside. Oh,
yes!
Let's play a game together. All right, so if you don't know, we are also on Tumblr, and there is a lovely creator on Tumblr called TheVeryWorstThing, and they made the very worst bear. I mean, they made There's a Bear Outside.
They did.
As a little game to help us all keep busy and occupied while we are in this coronavirus time.
And apparently there are like 19 different endings
to
this game.
We're going to see what it's like.
Yes.
Anyway, we put on some copyright-free music in the background so it's not dead silent, but if there are sound effects, we'll capture those too. I don't think so. I think it's just text.
Yeah, which is, as far as I understand, it's pretty much a text-based game.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it's doing.
Classic. We're going back to old gaming conventions
Except
here.
for the fact that we don't actually have to write anything. We just have to click buttons.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, yeah, but you don't usually have to... Well, it depends on the game. Anyway, if you played Muds, you had to... All right. There's a bear outside, and it's looking in the window. You can't tell what kind of bear it is, but it looks very large and is covered in black fur. It cocks its head slightly as you come into view. I don't know what I'm inside, but there's at least a window and a bear.
It's true.
And an outside. So I don't know if there's an inside, but there is an outside.
Ooh, outside, inside.
All right, my friend.
What is that? Well, I don't know. We could be very ridiculous.
Ask it what it wants. Well, we don't know if it's a real bear or not. I kind of want to do like one round where we're just ridiculous as possible and see what happens. Ridiculous.
Again, there's 19 different endings, so this could go very
Let's see what happens. All right, we're just going to go. We don't know if we'll get close to it or what, but we're going to ask it what it wants. Hello, bear at my window. What do you want? The bear watches you walk to the door and under the latch. You open it, step out onto the porch, and look it in the eyes. Hello, bear, you say. What are you here for?
Hello, kiddo, the bear replies in a voice like an echo. Just checking in. Bad day.
You slip on the boots by the door and nod. Bad day. You both enjoy a leisurely stroll into the woods, and for a while, you just let your cares float away as you listen to the bear talk. There's a surprising amount of forest gossip to catch up on. The love lives of the possums that keep breaking into the general store can be described as nothing less than torrid, and the campers in blue tents that you pass on the way to the lake are probably trying to summon the devil. Everyone's always trying to summon the devil by the lake. I hate that. You campers, don't you have anything else to do? Stop summoning the devil outdoors and enjoy the nature. Devils should be summoned indoors.
It's probably the biggest reason with some devils being grumpy. Maybe actually they're trying to be very friendly to the devils for once, because they always show them being summoned indoors. Maybe it's better to summon them outdoors, because that way they have more room to breathe.
A little
because honestly,
room.
They might be a little claustrophobic. They might have like hell or wherever they come from, some infernal plane is probably like way too small for them normally, so they're just like, I hate indoors. It's so
after being sucked through the summoning tube, they just need a little space to breathe. If they're in another tiny box, they just freak out. All right, here we go. Is that us talking?
No, to summon the devil. Yeah, it's you.
Are we going to do anything today besides gossip? It's good gossip, but maybe we could explore some more abandoned campsites. That or start a fight club.
No fight club. You always propose a fight club.
Fight clubs always sound fun, and with all the demons that are summoned by the lake, it'd be fun to watch them fight too.
When you're not the one fighting.
Fair. You end up grabbing a snack instead. The bear finds you some really good blackberry bushes, and you pick as many as you eat before moving on. You pick as many as you eat.
It's okay. They have a couple of errors in here.
That's fine. I would say
as many as you eat doesn't sound.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You pick as many as you eat. So you only pick as many as you eat.
Right. You only pick as many as you eat.
Yeah, hang on. That's said though.
You have to hurry. You can feel time running short, and you're late for dinner with Mom. I have a mom in this game.
Yes.
A robed figure on the hill walks towards you as you approach the meeting spot. They are wearing a bow tie and have a towel draped over one arm. Oh, no. Yeah. You grin at the sight while leaning over to elbow the bear gently. Your butler's here. But I was going to say, oh, look, the hitchhikers are here.
Right.
That's what I was going to say.
Be nice. They're nice.
I'm sorry. You're right. I should be nice. I should be more nice. But wouldn't they be great in the fight club? The person bows low when they stop in front of the bear and then curtsies to you. I love it. Your divine excellence, Lady Julie. Dinner is about to be served. Hey, acolyte! Looking sharp tonight, bud. Nice robe, nice bow tie, great towel. Very clean, very white.
Very lovely.
A flustered smile can just be seen in the shadow of the hood. Thank you. I have a date after this, and I'm trying. Dressed for... That's the outfit you wear when you have to buttle at 8 and have a date at 9.
Yes!
I want to see this outfit so hard.
I do too.
Good for them. You pat them on the shoulder as they lead you to the candlelit stump where your mom is already seated. This time, she has rings of polished river stones set in moss around her neck and an elaborate shawl made of feathers thrown over her ratty white t-shirt and jeans. This is so extra. I love these clothing choices. A tiny bear cub with big golden eyes and flowers sprouting from its fur is wiggling impatiently in her lap. Want to eat things. Where are my blackberries? You didn't bring me any. When you sit beside her, she gives you a really tight hug, squishing the bear, while it tries to get your blackberry stash.
Yes!
Before you can throw them into the bowl on the table. Oh, you should probably wash those, but you probably ate a million different forest germs when you were eating them earlier, so whatever. We did pick extras. I love it. The acolyte lays out an impressive spread before setting down their towel and taking their leave. I'm just picturing this tiny little stump table, and they're just stacking all the food Alice in Wonderland style.
Right.
In this huge, beautiful, tiered
elaborate
experience.
Yes,
Extremely tiered experience. Let's see. Dinner is nice. It's always nice. Your mom tells you about the art exhibit at the Nature Center that's showcasing a bunch of her old photography this week and encourages you to send in some paintings. The bear continues to dish out hot goss on every person and not person skulking around the park. The cub is adorable and also tries to eat your fingers more than once. You're so cute.
So adorable.
Eating berries, cuddling, trying to eat my fingers off.
Sounds like
nice.
babies.
It's late. You lay back on the grass and look up at the stars, caught in the gaps between the treetops. After a while, you feel your mom reach over and squeeze your hand.
You want to play mom? You about to head out, kiddo?
She says, as the candle on the stump goes dark. I've got a little time, you say, as you watch the cub cuddled up to the bear's side start to fade into the night. You close your eyes. Happy birthday, by the way. Sorry I didn't bring you anything.
You brought yourself, you dork. It's nice to catch up and, be a person instead of a campfire story.
Oh, I know I'm just about mythic, but...
I am pretty impressive.
Beside the obvious, being a campfire story is only bad because most of the jokes are garbage.
Most of
these jokers are garbage storytellers. If they were better storytellers, I'd have a better story. You open your eyes for just a second to see the cub completely gone and quickly shut them again. You can still feel your mom's hand.
Aww.
Let's see, is this Mom?
This is you.
Okay, and one day I'm going to stop being a coward and come up here for real. Gonna bring my real human body and everything. I'll get mugged by raccoons and break an ankle walking from the car to the cabin. It'll be awesome. There's a sigh in the dark.
Cut that out. Trauma doesn't make you a coward. That's the kind of thing your grandparents would have me believing before I got smart enough to never talk to them again.
They were assholes.
That's my girl.
You open your eyes again briefly and only see the bear, just the bear, and the stars before you shut them tight again. All right, is fight it the only option?
Yeah, to fight it is the only
option. The only option. All right, we fight it.
We're gonna fight it.
All right, everyone, fight it. Oh, here we go. Hey, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's you.
Right. How do you feel about starting a fight club?
I didn't say yeah, kiddo, but you're okay.
Hey Mom.
Yeah, kiddo?
How do you feel about starting a fight club?
Hell yeah, fight club sounds fun. No fight clubs!
Oh, but I wanted one.
Wake up.
You don't cry this time. You used to cry when you were younger. You haven't dreamed about the bear in a while, but it was your mom's birthday yesterday, so you expected this. The birthdays are harder than the anniversaries. Those just remind you of something you've known for 15 years. Like your alarm going off when you've already been up for hours. The birthday reminds you that, in a better world, she'd still be alive to get older. You go to the bathroom and drink some water before going back to a deep, dreamless sleep. So we found out that the indoors was made of dreams,
yes.
But in the real indoors, it's not made of dreams. We have a bathroom and a bed, and the bathroom gives us water.
That's good.
A deep, dreamless sleep. You'll return to the cabin the next time you have a bad day. Another camper comes along.
I think this is actually
and then it loops back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Another
All right,
camper.
this time you want to narrate.
All right. There's a bear outside, and it's looking in the window. You can't tell what kind of bear it is, but it looks very large and is covered in black fur. It cocks its head slightly as you come into view.
I love that it shows you what you've already chosen.
That's very cute.
That's very helpful. So good job on that. I'm going to say this time, if we're going to just go zany to less zany, I'm just going to close the curtain. Ignoring my problems, closing the curtain.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That's quite enough of that. The local wildlife can stay out of your business. Do you start your day or wait for the bear to leave?
Well, if the curtain's closed and I'm ignoring my problems, I'm going to start my day.
Yes, right.
Bye!
Start the day. You continue your morning routine for a while before thinking to check on the bear situation again. It should be gone by now. You open the door and look out, only to see the bear still at the window. It was staring at the drawn curtains, but now it looks to you.
Shoo the bear or back inside. If we're avoiding our problems, back inside.
Back inside!
Back inside!
Woohoo! Oh, hell no! You mutter. You quickly close the door, but there's a weird feeling as you do. Like you're scared, but not as scared as you should be. A part of you wants to go back outside. Whatever.
Whatever.
If this becomes an ongoing problem, then you'll call the ranger station. But hopefully the bear will wander off when it gets bored.
We only have the one window and the one door.
That's it.
So, we're just like, we can't check on the situation very much. And once the curtains are closed, that's the end, my friends. That's it.
It's true.
No reopening those curtains.
As you walk away, you hear a cheerful voice outside that sounds slightly distorted, like an educational VHS tape played in a cave.
That is such a lovely description.
I love
love that so hard. You're just listening to this echoing horror, like somebody down in the hall.
It's
in
Freddy
a school,
Fazbear.
And you're just like, ha. All right. Seeing a bear in the wild is a special treat for any visitor to a national park.
You turn back towards the window. A golden eye peeks through the gap in the curtains briefly before being replaced with black fur as the bear turns and walks off the porch. It is nowhere to be found when you get up the courage to look outside again.
As I crawl down underneath the window and slowly lift my head above the sill, gently lifting the curtain with my forehead, peeking out. Hello.
It does not return for the rest of the weekend. And when your friends get back from their morning swim, they just say you're trying to spook them with more ghost stories. And it is a pretty good story. You tell it, with a few embellishments, for years to come whenever people start talking paranormal encounters at parties. You do not return to the cabin.
Another camper comes along. Okay, that's
yes!
right. Okay, with that one though, I'm just like very charmed in the experience of going, you're like, I'm going to embellish the crap out of the fact that there was a bear outside a building I was in one time. Yes! Ah! This is my great big ghost story. One time, I was in a building, and there was a bear outside. Let me tell it to you for an hour. It was amazing. I just stood in the building.
And the fish was this big.
Yes, this big. All right, what if we close the curtains and choose a different option? Do you want to try that?
Or do you want to try it again?
Let's just, for this round, let's just not try anything again. Let's try to look out the window.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good idea. All right, there's a bear outside and it's looking in the window. You can't tell what kind of bear it is, but it looks very large and it's covered in black fur. It cocks its head slightly as you come into view.
We're going to look out the window.
It sits so still as you approach the window. You still can't tell what kind of bear it is. Maybe it's a hybrid. Maybe you don't know your bears very well and you wouldn't recognize a polar bear if it stood on your toes.
It's true!
You don't know if that's possible, but then again, you don't know much about bears beyond the fact that their signs told you not to provoke, feed, or otherwise bother them. And you always read your horoscope, and when it says, do not provoke or feed or bother the bears, you listen to it.
You're very prompt.
You suddenly freeze and wonder if looking at the bear out the window is provoking or prompting or something like feeding its attention. And you're very concerned. You've never seen a bear this close before. What should you do? So you could loop around, close the curtain. It's so helpful that it shows you. Okay, so this is like a choose your own adventure book where you have bookmarks. And you can tell yourself what you've chosen before.
I love this style. Like, even if this was like a paid game, this would be very charming because you'd be like, I want to see what I have or haven't done.
So whenever I did old style chapter, like choose your own adventure books physically, I always did, like, I would read a couple of times through just choosing whatever, like basically the newest options. And then as soon as I get to points where I knew I was repeating the same pieces of story again, I'd start putting in bookmarks so I wouldn't miss different, branches. And this is very helpful. I love that. All right. Keep looking. Open the window. Hunt. Or take a picture.
Take a picture?
Take a picture. It'll last you longer.
Yes, take a picture.
It'll last you longer.
Hey, honey, if you're going to look, take a picture and I'll last forever.
It comes out. Oh, that is quite the image. Leave this place
or take more pictures.
All right, I want to take more pictures. I want to take more pictures.
Take more pictures.
You took that first picture when you were 6. You still have the Polaroid in a box somewhere, and you still remember getting yelled at for touching the camera at all. What you don't remember is why your first instinct was to hide the photo. But you're glad you did. This secret is just for you. You and the forest. As a little kid, you thought this meeting was like a storybook illustration. The shapes of things in the pictures are simplified into symbols for children, and when you see an animal up close for the first time, there are all these overwhelming missing bits to take in. So, to you, it was just a bear, with the details left on. It was about the same level of upsetting as staring into the centre of a sunflower. Weird enough to want physical proof that you saw what you saw, but nothing that would give you nightmares. If your parents had seen the bear before, the flash scared it away. You are certain before the flash scared it away, you are certain they would have burned that cabin to the ground and fled, horror movie style. Now, you are 13, or you are now 13. You've seen many professionally shot photographs of normal bears, and your family has been back a few times since first contact. Dad gave you the old camera, and neither of them care that you stay out in the woods alone all day. Even sitting still and reading, you are too loud to write around, it seems. Wait. You are too loud to write around, it seems.
Oh, because they write. You are too loud to write around, it seems, because
there we go. Even sitting still, you are too loud to write around. Thank you. It seems. I got it. Thank you for that help. So, you've had plenty of time to carry out your experiments in peace. I feel like you are Coraline. You exist, and your parents are like, stop bothering me, child.
You just exist. I despise.
Pictures out of books won't do. You need the details. So you've got a bunch of photos from the nature center this time. You tried to get photos of living bears in surrounding forest, but you found out that maybe your mom was wrong, and you weren't stupid enough to be that brave. The other bears aren't like your bear. You're pretty sure your bear doesn't want to hurt you. This doesn't mean you don't keep your distance. That's just good common sense. You lay the offerings out carefully on the big tree stump. First the photos, then the pile of trail mix with the candy picked out. Bears shouldn't have candy anyway. Very thoughtful. And then, they also shouldn't have dried fruit.
It's
in
true.
any amount of quantity at all. Dried fruit, and so the way they eat by gorging themselves, if you do too much dried fruit, they drink. The fruit can kill them by absorbing the water and getting very large in their stomach. Not cool. All right. And when everything is ready, you call out, "Here, bear!" and climb into your observation tree as fast as your chubby limbs can take you. It only takes a few minutes for the bear to show up. A part of you thinks it watches all your woodland adventures, only coming out when you make the offerings, so as not to scare you. Maybe it protects you from the shadows like a guardian angel. That would be nice. It would be cool to have a protector. The bear ambles around the stump, first looking up at you, then inhaling the pile of trail mix. Before getting to the photos. This next part always takes a while. It needs to figure out where the new details go. And you sit in rapt attention as it studies your work. You begin to smile when it sits back and the new claws slowly emerge from the velvet black paws. But soon realize your mistake. Oh, buddy, no. You thought it would just pick its favorite set, not mix and match. Some are straight, some are curved, and none of them are exactly the same color. That's not how you bear. You sigh. You don't have it in your heart to scold the obviously pleased creature, as it does an impressive impression of your grandma admiring her nails after a trip to the salon. I love this horror experience of all these bears' nails mashed together on one paw, and it just looking super happy at like 900 different toes.
Going,
they're so cool! This preening goes on for a while before the bear looks up at you again, wiggles its ears a bit, and wanders back into the forest. The next morning you wake up just before dawn and follow the trail of wildflowers that start under your window to a hollow tree near the lake. Inside are some beautiful feathers, a big smooth river stone, and a tiny animal skull covered in moss. It's extremely aesthetic.
It's so aesthetic. I love it.
It's like a Tumblr post that nature blogs would kill for. So, you put them with your other treasures and go back to bed before your parents wake up.
Time to take even more pictures.
Would you like to take even more pictures?
Uh-huh.
Thank God for Shirley Brown and the Mirror Hill National Park Photography Club. Thank God for summers away from home. Your new stepmom is nice, but she seems a little too happy to back you up when you propose that you'd like to spend another summer up at the cabin, working at the nature center instead of coming home for school. Probably afraid that you'll weird up the new baby, which is fair. You're really weird and proud of it. Oh, it's not like you can trust anyone else in the godforsaken apartment to do it. I can't trust them to weird up the baby. It's my personal job.
Pretty much.
The previously mentioned photography club was added when the old building got damaged in the mudslide a few years back, and and had to be rebuilt. You became a member as soon as you learned of its existence, and the staff already found you so endearing that Ms. Shirley let you have one of her less fancy and slightly possum-chewed cameras, so you could give the Polaroid a break. You still use it sometimes, but the ritual of using the park darkroom is so therapeutic, nice and quiet in there. Makes you feel like the little mushroom slowly growing in a damp corner. You're just like,
I love the imagery associated here.
This is very
I am
charming.
very fond of The Very Worst Thing as a writer.
Yes.
They're very organic. It feels very, like, I want to say, like, very fleshy, and it's very comfortable. Like, I know a lot of times they're like, they have a lot of body horror writing or whatever else, but for me, honestly, it never horrifies me. It's just interesting, and it feels very comfy.
It doesn't feel
like a well-worn sort of experience of going like, this bed is soft and I enjoy it and I'm very familiar with this bed, and it doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to like come out of the dark out of nowhere and actually really try to hurt you.
It's an interesting experience where the author feels so comfortable with their subject matter that you also feel comfortable. And when Scandal here introduced me to The Very Worst Thing, I was charmed by a lot of their creature design, world building, stuff like that, but also this experience of they never seem to be trying to horrify you. They seem to be presenting it in a very safe, quiet kind of way, or in a very put your own emotional experience on this. Here, it's very nice. Let's see. Mushrooms. There we are. You finished developing the last of today's haul and make sure all the clients' pictures are in the right envelopes. It's always fun to see what people think is worth capturing for posterity, and posterity must be captured. Some envelopes...
Some posteriors must be captured.
Some posteriors must be captured as well. Some envelopes go out full of flowers and baby deers, while others with nothing but ladies dressed like elves posing in darkened hollows and artful shops of small dead things. This is you are developing all the Tumblr photos. That's what you're doing. Everyone going, living the druid life or living the hermit life, and you're like, I am here. I will develop your photos so you can blog. All right. Every so often, and one envelope goes out with a few pictures that are mysteriously overexposed. Totally ruined. A shame. Can't make out your bear in any of them. Also, sometimes, there's bad amateur porn. What are these people doing out of the forest? Just because it's not an enclosed space and it's public, they think it's private as anything.
What was that running joke of going, hey, don't stay here, they're going to be doing porn in the library?
Oh,
was that like The Good Place?
It was in The Good Place. There was a tiny little piece in The Good Place where they were in this really small town, and basically once anything and everything closed for the day, they were going to be filming porn there. And it reminded me, honestly, of one road trip that I took with my dad. We went through a tiny little town in the middle of, South USA somewhere, and every single place was a something and pawn. It was convenience store and pawn, car shop and pawn, thrift shop and pawn. It was grocery and pawn. Everything was also a pawn shop.
And you were like,
I mean, they even had like library and pawn. I was like, everything's a pawn shop. Donuts and pawn. It was surreal.
You're like, well, welcome to the South. Yo.
Anyway, the photography club doesn't talk about the porn unless something illegal is happening in said porn. It's just not, no one has the energy for that. Y'all are too busy making sure the elf people don't leave loots where the raccoons can get to them. Raccoons jamming out on loots in the middle of the night.
They're like, I'm on board!
I get it. As soon as
That was a weird lawsuit.
That was a weird lawsuit. I didn't realize you'd scrolled. I looked away.
Yes.
Anyway, you're done early for the day, and since none of the elf people have invited you to their camps for drinks or D&D tonight, you have time to hang out with your bear. So you grab some more trail mix at the general store, hop on your bike, and head to the stump. As soon as you step off the trail, you hear the first gunshot. Down the hill past the big rock. Run, run, run until your observation tree is in sight. And you should be running in the opposite direction because poachers or whatever is ranger business. But you know in your heart what they're shooting at. So you can't. Why are you so slow? When you arrive at the altercation, the man in the camo jacket almost shoots you in surprise. Your pocket knife is out. This is the angriest you've ever been. Your bear is by the stump. It is also angry and has many new details. This man is going to die. But before you can raise your knife to the man, he pushes you behind him and tells you to run and get a ranger. That thing in front of you is a monster, and the protective tone in his voice makes you falter. Wait, is this a hunt or self-defense? In the second it takes you to mull that over, your bear has lunged, and the man's body is being pulled inside its too wide maw by tendrils of grasping flesh, covered in teeth. As the flailing boots disappear inside, you find yourself frozen in place. When you can move again, you feel detached from your body, floating above the scene as you put your hands to one of the bullet holes in your bear's side. You have to stop the bleeding. You don't know what else to do. Would you have really killed that man? You close all the curtains in the cabin that night. When you visit the stump the next morning, the bear is nowhere to be found, but the trail mix is gone when you check back in the evening. A week later, when you attend a staff meeting and learn the man was found by a ranger, somehow perfectly half submerged in the earth near the trail, small plants sprouting from clothes that looked rotted by decades of wear, and unconscious but alive, you sit in the dark room and just shake with relief for an hour. The rangers say to tell any guest that asks about him that it was a sinkhole. Put this secret with the rest. Alright, this route is much longer than the other one.
This is incredibly long.
We're going to need to actually wrap this up and then continue.
Goodness. I am engaged, though. Like,
no,
I
this
really
is
do.
good. I'm for this. So I think we should pause here and then round into episode 2. What do you think, my friend?
That sounds marvelous. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. So if you like what we do, please feel free to check us out at our Patreon, check us out at our Ko-Fi. Also, thank you again to The Very Worst Thing. This is very charming.
This is
like,
lovely.
I have been quiet because I am super engaged. I love this kind of storytelling.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
And since we're going to be taking turns reading, the story, it's going to be one or the other, sort of just adding a little bit of support or commentary. But this is very charming. We would love to hear from you, but also go check out The Very Worst Thing. They do some charming stuff. We'll link it in the bottom.
We totally will have a link down below.
All right.
So I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!